Welcome to the Everything Podcast. In this episode, I am going to be recapping the 8th Doctor Adventures releases from both 2023 and 2024 because I've listened to slightly more 8th Doctor Adventures releases than some of the other Doctors. The 8th Doctor Adventure is going to be split across two, doing 2023 and 2024 in this episode, and then in the next episode I'll be doing the 2025 releases. So without further ado, I recorded this episode on the 16th of February 2026. So let's get started with the first release of the 8th Doctor Adventures in 2023, titled Audacity, and it was released in November 2023 because that's kind of, they tend to keep to the same monthly schedule most of the time unless there's production delays for whatever reason. So kind of the 8th Doctor Adventure release tends to be November and December. Like the second Doctor usually begins July, but last year it was released in December because of production things. But yeah, so before I let you know my thoughts, obviously I'm going to read the synopsises and the cast and the recording dates, and then I will show you the trailer, and then I'll let you know my thoughts. So let's get started. So the synopsis for the Audacity box set is as follows. The Doctor is about to gain a new best friend. Lady Audacity Montagu has carved her own path in Regency England. She has also been watching the heavens, wondering what lies beyond. When the Doctor gate crashes one of her famous society balls, Audacity is given the chance to find out. We start off with The Devouring, written by Lisa McMullen, which is one episode because the 8th Doctor Adventures take more of a new series approach rather than the classic series, so each episode is an hour long. With the following synopsis. Lady Audacity Montagu, strong-minded and unconventional, has been gazing at the stars, but unfortunately for her and everybody she knows, they've been staring back. She's made inadvertent intergalactic eye contact with a malevolence known as the Devouring, but it wants to consume her, but Audacity is already consumed with rage. We then have The Great Cyber War Part 1, written by Tim Foley, with the following synopsis. The Great Cyber War, humanity and her allies versus the horror of the Cybermen. This is no place for the Doctor to take his new best friend, but on the Aurum, the war seems far away. There are parties and cupcakes and all the gold of Voga, and not a Cyberman to be seen. We then have The Great Cyber War Part 2, also written by Tim Foley, with the following synopsis. The Cyber War has come to the Aurium. The best hope of survival lies with the Great Aubrian Fix, the finest scientific mind of his generation, working to protect his humanity, but the Doctor is worried that his own presence will affect history's outcome, and for Audacity, life with the Doctor will never be the same again. This set was recorded on the 27th, 28th and 29th of March, as well as the 3rd, 4th, 5th and 11th of April 2023, kind of lining up with normal recording and release dates. It is as follows, and Paul McGann stars as the 8th Doctor, Jay Griffiths stars as Lady Audacity Montagu, and Nicholas Briggs stars as the Cybermen. Obviously that's just the main cast. Before I let you know my thoughts on Audacity, here's the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures, Audacity.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor Adventures, Audacity.
Lady Audacity Montagu.
And I'm the Doctor.
There is a comet crossing the sky tonight. I am away to my telescope. A shooting star that creeps across the sky. It is most curious.
Did nobody ever tell you to be careful what you wish for? The Devouring. They're called the Devouring.
I shall consume you.
Doctor, this starship, does it take you through the darkness?
In so many ways.
Ladies, gentle beings, we're delighted to welcome you to the Aurum.
A golden domain.
Quite literally.
Our Viceroy of Victory, Oberon Fix.
Audacity, we have to leave. Now.
They're locking us down!
Humanity and their allies are facing the greatest threat to their existence.
All Aurum security measures are being deactivated.
A near unstoppable enemy that not only courses through the galaxy, but converts it, corrupts it.
The Doctor.
Grab some glitter guns, glitter bombs, anything you can carry.
You're Vogan. The guards are Vogan, but none of the guests at that gathering were.
Fated, foretold, this weapon ends the war.
The Cybermen never give up.
It's a Cybermat. Off the flight deck, both of you! Both of you!
You will let us in.
Not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin.
You were right, Vron. It is the silence that gets you.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures Audacity, which obviously introduces Jay Griffiths' Lady Audacity Montague in the first story, The Devouring, which, from what I remember, again, as I've talked about in previous episodes, I don't tend to re-listen to much Big Finish because I've got to catch up with what's being released at the moment. What was I going to say? The 8th... Yeah, the Devouring ends, that's what it was, with basically the Doctor telling Audacity that she can never come back to this time because of the Devouring. And then that leads into the Great Cyber War, kind of with the Doctor and Audacity separated for much of the story. It's obviously a two-parter written by Tim Foley, who, as we talked about with Hooklight, the 5th Doctor Adventure 12-parter, is not alien to, and is well known for his longer stories, so that isn't a problem, but kind of is obviously Jay Griffiths, Audacity's first meeting away from Earth, and she couldn't meet the Cybermen. And kind of at the end of the Great Cyber War, India Fisher's Charlie Pollard appears, which leads into the next set of the 8th Doctor Adventures, which was released 1 month later in December. Keep score because there's quite a few. December 2023. You can see why I've separated them now. December 2023 with the 8th Doctor Adventures in the Bleak Midwinter, which was released in December 2023, as I said, with the following synopsis. Midwinter is a magical time, a season of hope and renewal, a time to spend with friends. With both Audacity and Charlie by his side, the Doctor is looking to celebrate, but the season also brings cold and darkness, and the TARDIS travellers are about to experience 3 very different winter's tales. We start off with 24 Doors in December, written by John Dorney, and is 1 episode long, with the following synopsis. When the TARDIS lands in London on the 1st of December, the Doctor decides to treat his companions to a proper Christmas holiday, even down to dragging out the Baker Street Advent calendar. But elsewhere in the city, a department store Santa is starting to have a very unnerving month. He's on a collision course with the time travellers. Is it going to be a happy Christmas? We then have The Empty Man, written by Tim Foley, also 1 episode long, with the following synopsis. Good evening, faithful listener. It's time for Eldridge Brinkwood, that splendid scribe of scary stories, to tell another of his tales this Christmas Eve. Except this is a horror like no other. The Doctor and his friends have stirred something in the dark, something ruthless and relentless, and the Empty Man must feast. We then have Winter of the Demon, written by Roy Gill, which is 1 episode long, with the following synopsis. The TARDIS brings the travellers to Victoria near Edinburgh. Industrialist Donald Shaw plans to transform the city with electric light, but people are dying, found horribly burned. What ancient power has Shaw summoned? Can the Doctor prevent the Winter of the Demon? This set was recorded on the 3rd, 4th, 5th and 11th of April 2023, kind of about 8 months, so normal time frame there, with the main cast including Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor, India Fisher as Charlie Pollard, and Jay Griffiths as Lady Audacity Montague. That's the main cast. As well, but before I talk about the set, here is the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures in the Bleak Midwinter.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor Adventures in the Bleak Midwinter.
Merry Christmas.
I hate Christmas.
It isn't a Baker Street Christmas without the Baker Street Advent calendar.
Every day in December, you open a new door. They're all numbered, see? 1 a day until you reach Christmas Eve.
I keep seeing things, hearing things.
But why would you hallucinate us?
Who is this stumbling fellow? I can't quite... Ah!
Don't look at it, Eldridge. Behind me.
His face!
Run!
Is the figure following you?
Like a dead man lurching to his grave.
Oh, I think late Victorian, 1880 something. Quickly.
The solstice. December 21st.
Will you be in Edinburgh long?
Winter burnings. 7th victim discovered, his body consumed by mysterious conflagration.
The demon strikes again.
What did you make of his hands? One clasped, the other outstretched, as if warding something off?
A god of fire.
What Audacity says is true. You will burn, this city will burn, and then the whole planet.
The ultimate scorched earth policy. It can't be what he wants.
You tell ghost stories on the radio. I love that sort of thing. Big Finish. For the love of stories.
So that was the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures in the bleak midwinter, rather. And if you didn't guess it from the synopsises, you've definitely got it in the trailer. This is a Christmas box set, which Big Finish don't tend to do, like themed box sets around Adventure Ranges. Now they've got the Halloween and Christmas box sets that appeared last year, so that were released last year rather. But yeah, kind of this was an 8th Doctor, Charlie and Audacity Christmas box set basically, and kind of all three stories kind of in Christmas in some way. But I think my favourite of the set is the first one, titled 24 Doors in December. It's kind of the most what's the word I'm looking for? Most maybe normal Doctor Who kind of, or the most present day, I think, because some of the others are a bit all over the place. So this one kind of Charlie and Audacity. Well, you heard a bit of it in the trailer that Charlie explains to Audacity what an advent calendar is, because she's from Regency England, so they obviously weren't invented then. But obviously the time that Charlie's from, so she knows what they are, and so yeah, it's just one of those things. But yeah, kind of the Empty Man and Winter of the Demon, kind of they're more horror-y and darker, which obviously I talked about in the 7th Doctor Adventures recap. That kind of the darker Doctor Who isn't for me, it's the lighter one, which it's not a surprise that we're into but my favourite of the set is 24 Doors of December. So if you're a fan of Christmas, which I think most people are, that I would suggest getting this set because it is nice and Christmassy. Now we move on to the 2024 8th Doctor releases. So we step away from Charlie and Audacity for the next set, as we are now with the 8th Doctor Adventures Echoes. If there's been a bit of delay, it's because I've been scrolling down the Big Finish page trying to find the next release to talk about. The 8th Doctor Adventures Echoes was released in May 2024, so released a little bit earlier than usual, because I think another set featuring the 8th Doctor, which I won't talk about because it's not kind of in the range and I've not listened to it. So that's they kind of switched them around. So May 2024. So here is a synopsis for the set. As the Doctor, Liv and Helen explore the universe, they come across lost souls, troubled minds, and long-kept secrets from a lonely world with birdsong, but no birds, to a English university whose undergraduates tell ghostly tales in a distant galaxy where a utopian society lives in the shadow of enormous creatures. The TARDIS crew are haunted by echoes of past, present, and future. We start off with birdsong, written by Tim Foley, with the following synopsis. The TARDIS arrives on an empty world where two scouts await the rest of their colony, except this world may not be as empty as everybody thinks. There's a figure in the woods and a strangely familiar sound, and the Doctor and his friends learn more about the planet's inhabitants. The birdsong they hear becomes a deadly chorus. We then have Lost Hearts, written by Laura Mooney and Stuart Pingle, with the following synopsis. Michaelmas term 1903. In one of England's ancient universities, strange apparitions float between quads and cloisters, while Liv and Helen protect a naive undergraduate from a sinister society. The Doctor finds a ghost hunting ally, one who happens to be the era's foremost chronicler of things that go bump in the night. Then we have Slow Beast, written by Dan Rebellato, with the following synopsis. The Doctor takes Liv and Helen to see one of the wonders of the outer galaxy, Turan Shuin, where immense alien figures loom over the plains and settlements of the Wren, but the Slow Beasts hide a secret that once unleashed spells doom for this entire world. This set was recorded on the 16th to the 19th of October and 21st of November 2023, as well as the 29th of January 2024, so kind of normal. That's kind of why they brought it forward, because of how in advance it was recorded. So this set includes Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor, Nicola Walker as Liv, and Hattie Morahan as Helen. As well, Dan Starkey also appears in this as several characters, obviously known for playing the Centaurans and Strax in Doctor Who. Paternoster Gang as well with Strax. But before I talk about the 8th Doctor Echoes, here's the 8th Doctor Adventures Echoes, rather. Here's the trailer.
Does this planet have a name? It may look like England, but the 3 moons suggest otherwise.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor Adventures, Echoes.
I'm the Doctor, this is Liv and Helen.
You're a colonist then? That's the promise of the Charter, a new life returning to our roots.
Night comes at night.
Creature?
It's awful. Darker than dark.
Awful! It was awful!
Monty's a medievalist, brilliant scholar, has the rooms next to mine. And these are my friends, Miss St. Clair.
From the kitchens?
And Miss Chenka.
From the nurse's office? Yes, I saw, looking in through the window, watching me. Hello? A man or a boy, I wasn't sure. Only its face. Its awful, hideous face. Like a paper lantern. Empty somehow. Hollow.
Welcome to the Forever Club.
Where are we anyway?
This, Helen, is Ranzoan.
But that's impossible.
Good, aren't they?
Each one must be half a mile high?
They're not statues, they're living creatures.
I see you're admiring our slow beasts.
The slow beasts operate at 1/1,000,000th of our own speed.
What is it?
Doctor.
Yes?
It just blinked.
Big Finish. For the love of stories.
That was the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures Echoes. Now, again, kind of, it's been a while since I listened to this set, but kind of, Slow Beast, I think, is my favourite of the set, because it's, well, they're all really good stories. This is the first set that I listened to featuring the 8th Doctor, Liv and Helen. Obviously, all the previous releases that I talked about were with the 8th Doctor, Charlie and Audacity, so different TARDIS team for this one. But yeah, kind of Tim Foley, Laura Mooney, Stuart Pringle, I know those writers, so rated in various different ranges, so there's that. And then, yeah, then the, what was I going to say? Then the, yeah, so there's that. But Slow Beast, I think it's because, I don't know what it is about it, but I think I remember it, but kind of it's to do with time, and they take forever to move, and when they move it means certain things happen. I think is what happened. I can't remember a vast amount of this, but yeah, now we're gonna move on to the next release, which is I think it's a special release, the next one, I think. Oh no, oh yes, kind of. Yeah, so this, we're now on to we're now moving to September 2024 with a bonus 8th Doctor release titled The Stuff of Legend, which was made to commemorate 25 years of Doctor Who audios at Big Finish, with the following synopsis. Something is afoot in the lonely Cornish village of Merrybed Bay. Rumours of dead men working in the tin mines have set a chill through the community, and it's up to the Doctor and Charlie to get to the bottom of the mystery. Can the legends of the Buka that haunt the mines be true, and just what awesome power do the Doctor's greatest enemies, the Daleks, threaten to unleash upon the universe? This set was recorded on the 22nd, 23rd and 29th of April 2024 and stars Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor, India Fisher as Charlie Pollard, Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks, Alex McQueen as the Master. That's kind of the main cast, and actually is Alex McQueen's return to the role as the Master for a long while. It was multiple, like nearly 4 years. So before I talk about the Stuff of Legend, here is the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures, The Stuff of Legend.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Stuff of Legend.
It began around midsummer. There was talk of corpse lights seen in the old Merry Maid mine.
Charlie, hold on!
Holding on!
For there's fishing boats a-bobbing in the bay, which went out fully crewed in the morning and returned empty by nightfall.
We found an honest-to-goodness secret tunnel.
Remember what Penrose said? The old squire ran the local smuggling operation.
And sounds of digging from the mine. Now what's doing that digging, miss?
Knocking in the dark.
That's machine noise. We'll expect a supernatural entity to use.
There's something down there, miss. And now we know no peace.
It must be the missing men from the village.
Captain was right. They are zombies.
Not zombies, Emily.
Oh, it's evil, certainly. But this village is cursed, and there's nothing we can do, because it sure ain't living men.
Smash it into the rock wall!
Keep down, Doctor!
I'm losing my grip!
The chasm, quickly! I'm the Doctor. You are the Bucker, I presume. Missed!
Want this thing go any faster?
I've a feeling it's about to. Heads down!
What do you mean?
Help us all before it's too late.
Identify yourself! Identify yourself!
What?
How do we stop this thing?
We don't want to yet!
Maybe not, but I'm thinking ahead!
Doctor! How good of you to drop in.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
So this is the studio version of The Stuff of Legend. I'll get onto why I've mentioned that in a minute. But kind of in that trailer you heard kind of the main cast of the 8th Doctor, Charlie, the Daleks and the Master at the end there, and kind of it is kind of a big celebration of Doctor Orders with obviously the 8th Doctor, who kind of, when Big Finish was starting-ish, was kind of the current Doctor. And the new series hadn't been announced yet, so it was like, where is this going? Is it just going to be Paul McGann as the Doctor for the end of time? Obviously that wasn't the case, but kind of he's the Doctor that is, I would say, probably has done the most Big Finish. As I've talked about before, kind of when they do, obviously he has his 2 box sets like the other Doctors, and obviously the 4th Doctor has 3, and the 1st and 2nd Doctors currently only have 1 set a year, but kind of the 8th Doctor does appear in loads and loads of other sets, which actually I will get onto in the next episode, where I talk about the 2025 releases and the future of the 8th Doctor adventures. But yes, this was released on the day that the live version, which I'm going to get to in a second, was recorded. So obviously amazing to have Alex McQueen's Masters back. This was the first time I'd heard his Master as well, and kind of was like, I knew who the Master was obviously, but not this incarnation. It was kind of quite interesting to see the differences. It was like, oh, he's just the Master, he's as evil as Missy or Sacha Dhawan's Master, or Sir Derek Jacobi's War Master, or had I heard Eric Roberts' Master yet? I don't think I heard. Oh yeah, I would have done in one of the Master sets, but yeah. So now I'm going to show you the trailer for the live version of The Stuff of Legend, which is that's one, and then yeah, it's got the same. It was recorded live at the Cadogan Hall in London in September 2024, well, the 14th and 15th of September 2024, and obviously stars the same main cast: Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor, India Fisher as Charlie Pollard, Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks, Alex McQueen as the Master. So before, there are a few differences which I will explain, you probably hear in the trailer. Here is the trailer for The Stuff of Legend, the live show.
Everyone sitting comfortably? Then let's begin.
Tonight I shall finally know what lies in the darkness.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Stuff of Legend, the live show.
We're not lost, Charlie. Think of it more, we've gone on holiday by mistake.
Doctor, that's life with you all over.
What can I say? I'm the original accidental tourist.
With a strong emphasis on the accidental.
It began around midsummer. There was talk of corpse lights seen in the old Merry Maid mine, where there's fishing boats a-bobbing in the bay, which went out fully crewed in the morning and returned empty by nightfall. And sounds of digging from the mine. Now what's doing that digging, miss? 'Cause it sure ain't living men.
Smash it into the rock wall! Alert! Alert! I am under attack! Hit down, Doctor! I'm losing my grip! The chasm, quickly! Push it, Captain! Push!
Something's coming!
There, by the beard of St. Piran.
It's like St. Elmo's fire.
Ignis Fatuus!
Don't be afraid. It's quite friendly.
How dare you!
Friendly?
Ah, it's possible I've summoned the wrong one.
The wrong one.
Identify yourself! I am the master, and I demand to see your line manager.
Watch your feet, gentlemen! Rail tracks! If we're lucky, they might lead to to a mine cart. Missed! What's the matter? Vision impaired?
Want this thing going any faster?
I have a feeling it's about to. Heads down!
What do you mean?
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
And now, for an encore, Zagreus.
That was the trailer for the Stuff of Legend, the live show, which was released in December 2024. Now, I remember at the time I was a bit hesitant about listening to this because I'd heard the studio version when it was released in September, and I was like, I've just listened to that, do I really want to get it? And then I did, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't be talking about it. But yeah, it was really different. You heard all of the applauses. It was made, and obviously I could only hear it, I didn't go, but it was like a stage production rather than it being a recording. It's a very different thing, so I am glad I did get that. Obviously feature the different trailer, so I did like that. Obviously the kind of Barnaby Edwards at the beginning and end kind of adding bits in and kind of obviously round of applause, whereas in the studio version obviously there's nothing like that. So it's very different. Obviously the same story just performed slightly differently, and I think some of the supporting cast was changed slightly, so yeah. But now on to the final release I'm going to talk about in this episode, which is the 8th Doctor Adventures. This is the last time I'm going to have to scroll this down. Is the 8th Doctor Adventures Deadly Strangers, where we return to the adventures of the 8th Doctor, Charlie and Audacity, which has the following synopsis for the set. The Doctor, Audacity and Charlie visit many times and places, always with the best of intentions, but others have a different agenda. We start off with Puccini and the Doctor, written by Matthew Jacobs, with the following synopsis. Inspired by his friends, the Doctor takes Charlie and Audacity to Milan to meet Puccini and hear the music of love. But the Doctor is not the only alien entranced by humanity. The mysterious tourer is setting riddles, and for those who answer, the experience is transformative. We then have Women's Day Off, written by Lisa McMullen, with the following synopsis. Iceland, 1975. Charlie and Audacity are thrilled to discover that the women have gone on strike, all of them, with potentially disastrous consequences for a girl called Kayla and everyone she comes into contact with. We then have The Gloaming, written by Laura Mooney and Stuart Pringle, which I think I've actually recapped on the channel previously, with the following synopsis. The Doctor, Charlie and Audacity arrive on Gloaming, a luxury sleep clinic in orbit around a dead world. Gloaming is filled with wealthy sleepers, dreaming through the dark ages of their world in suspended animation. But something is growing there, creeping into minds and poisoning dreams, something the Doctor thought long ago. This set was recorded between the 25th and 27th of March 2025 and stars Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor, India Fisher as Charlie Pollard, and J. Griffiths as Lady Audacity. Montague, as I said, this set was released in December 2024. I think it was released before the Stuff of Legend live show, but I just decided to do the Stuff of Legend stuff together instead of kind of putting Deadly Strangers in the middle. But before I tell you my thoughts, here is the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures, Deadly Strangers.
It was just a bad dream. I was in the dark, some dark place, and there was a voice.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor Adventures, Deadly Strangers.
Have you ever watched a snake dance?
Where are we going?
Milan, February the 17th, 1904.
Puccini!
Exactly. Giacomo Puccini. And tonight is the opening night of...
Madame Butterfly!
Correct. This is Lady Audacity. This is Charlotte.
And this is their friend, the Doctor.
I do hope you both like opera.
I have an inkling the TARDIS has brought us to Iceland.
130 kilometers outside of Reykjavik. Iceland, 1975? The women are on strike.
I don't know how to make it stop!
What is she? She's a child. She's a devil. The Trappist system. We are in orbit above the Earth colony planet of Gillen 3.
Unauthorized life forms cannot be here. Gloaming is closed.
Gloaming? What's gloaming?
It's private.
It's a sleep clinic.
If you're dreaming, maybe you should pinch yourself.
Somewhere to sleep, rest, and rejuvenate.
But how long have you been sleeping for?
Doctor! I'm trapped in the dark and I don't know where I am! I will dance her ragged. I will dance her to death.
Big Finish. For the love of stories.
Sleep, the sleep of ages. The sound of sleep in the universe. That's the gloaming guarantee.
That was the trailer for the 8th Doctor. I don't know what I was trying to say. The 8th Doctor Adventures, Deadly Strangers. So we start off with Puccini and the Doctor, which was actually Matthew Jacobs. I should have mentioned this before I showed you the trailer. It was the writer of the 1996 TV movie, which is the only on-screen, full episode featuring Paul McGann's 8th Doctor, introducing him, obviously meant as a backdoor pilot, which never went anywhere, unfortunately. But obviously returned to write Puccini and the Doctor, which obviously it does exist, obviously, but it does, it's very upbeat, that story. And then Women's Day Off kind of focuses on the Doctor takes a backseat as it focuses on Charlie and Audacity. Tried to say 2 sentences and then kind of merged in my head, because it's obviously about women going on strike, and obviously both Charlie and Audacity being from the past kind of is an interesting thing that we don't get to see with TV Doctor Who companions, really, because they're all from present day. So kind of the idea that they agree with the women, and they have a bit of tension with the Doctor. Then we go into Gloaming, which is kind of the opposite of Puccini and the Doctor being very upbeat. It's very dark as Charlie gets possessed by the Mara, which was first introduced in the 5th Doctor's TV era, and now the 8th Doctor have their turn with the Mara. So yeah, and obviously the Doctor's worried about Charlie and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to finish the episode here. Obviously that's not it of me talking about the 8th Doctor Adventures. That will be continuing in the next episode. But without further ado, let me know what you thought about all the releases I talked about in this episode, as well as if you've listened to what you thought of them, my recap, if you didn't, put your thoughts on all of those in the comments below. And I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.